Okay, there is something many YouTubers discover very late, and I'm going to be sharing it in this. I'm going to be exposing all the thieves, right? So you see, two people can create videos that receive almost the same number of views. I mean, put in the same effort, the same amount of work to create those videos, and yet one person can be making several times more money than the other person. The difference is not always the number of subscribers, it's not always the quality of the camera. You must not use an iPhone, and it's certainly not always about who has the biggest audience. I've seen small YouTubers with 5,000 views, 5,000 subscribers, 1,000 subscribers making so much money. And it's certainly not always about who has the biggest audience. Sometimes the biggest difference is simply what you are talking about. See, a video about entertainment might receive hundreds and thousands of views and even generate relatively modest advertising revenue. Meanwhile, another video with far fewer views could potentially generate significant and even more because advertisers are willing to pay more to reach that particular audience. And this is where the word niche comes and becomes extremely important. Today, we're going to be looking at 5 YouTube niches that are generally associated with some of the highest advertising rates. I'm going to be explaining their approximate CPM and RPM and why advertisers pay more for them. And most importantly, which one I believe is particularly practical for creators living in African communities like Nigeria. Because knowing that a niche pays well is one thing. Actually being able to create valuable content in that niche is something completely different. So stay with me because by the end of this video, you should have a much clearer idea of where your channel could actively fit in. Well, guys, welcome back to my channel. First, let's establish something very important. A niche is simply the particular area or subject your content focuses on. Instead of creating videos about absolutely everything, yeah, I know you're jack of all trades, master of all. You build your channel around a particular audience and a particular subject. For example, finance can be a niche. Technology too can be a niche. Health and fitness can also be a niche. Education can be a niche. Travel, news, entertainment, they can all be niches. And even within these categories, you can become more specific, understand, breaking it down to a particular, streamlining it down to a particular example. For example, instead of simply saying, I make finance videos, you can focus on personal finance. Instead of technology, which is very broad, you can focus on smartphones, AI, software, or cybersecurity, right? This is called niching down. Okay, and it can help you to attract people who are genuinely interested in what you are consistently talking about. Now, let's get into the 5 niches that is very important. One important disclaimer here is before we continue, the CPM and RPM numbers I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be mentioning approximate industry range, not guaranteed YouTube rates. Understand, your actual earnings can be dramatically different depending on your audience, country, watch time, season, video length, advertisers' demand, content type, and whether your videos are suitable for advertising. So there are lots of things about monetization, right? So don't look at these figures and assume that every 1,000 view will automatically produce a particular amount of money. It doesn't work that way. I think of them as a way of understanding relative earnings. Understand? I mean your relative earning potentials. Okay, so let's get it right into it very fast. The number 5 is technology. Technology is one of the most important niches on YouTube, and there is a reason for that. Technological companies spend enormous amounts of money trying to get subscribers. I mean, sorry, trying to get customers. My mouth, I'm used to subscribers. Think about smartphones, laptops, softwares, AI tools, and cloud services. Understand? Cybersecurity, web hosting, business software, online platforms, all these companies, they need customers, and YouTube give advertisers access to people who are actively searching for all this information, okay, before making a purchase or buying anything. So depending on the specific sub niche, remember I talk about niching down, and audience tech sorry sub niche and audience, technology content can sometimes see CPN in rough $5 to $20 range, while RPM might commonly fall somewhere between $2 to $10. But sometimes there are broad estimates, not guarantee, you understand? And the difference between a technology channel and another technology channel can be very huge. Understand? For example, a video title like Top 5 Free AI Tools may attract a very different advertising market from a title like Best Enterprise Cybersecurity Software for Businesses. The second audience may be much more commercially valuable because businesses can spend thousands of dollars on software, right? So that is a secret. It isn't simply the topic, it is the value of the audience. And if someone is watching your video because they're about to spend, like, say, $2,000 on a laptop, or $500 on software, or thousands of dollars on business technology, advertisers may be very interested in that viewer. Now, for an African creator, technology is also interesting because you don't necessarily need to live in America or Europe to create useful technology content. Please, you can review phone availables in your country, you can explain AI tools, you can teach people how to use softwares, right? You can also compare affordable devices. All these are technology, right? I can explain online business tools, and also you can create tutorials, you understand? So technology is definitely worth considering. Let's go to number 4: education and professional skills. Number 4 is education, and this is one of the niches people sometimes underestimate. See, education is not simply sitting in front of a camera and teaching mathematics or English. It can include career development, programming, digital marketing, English language learning. Yeah, a lot of people are doing that right now, and even professional certifications, okay? Graphic designs, video editing, business skills, data analysis, and many other areas, okay? So some educational and professional fields attract strong advertising rates, particularly when the content is connected to career, software, business, or even professional training. Okay, depending on the audience and topic, CPN can sometimes fall between $5 to $20 or higher. RPM often lower because YouTube RPM reflects the creator's actual revenue per 1,000 view after various factors, okay? And here is why education can be powerful. You are not just entertaining people, you are solving a problem. Someone may come across a channel because they want to learn something like Excel or whatever. And someone wants to learn coding, someone wants to improve their English, someone wants to learn video editing, someone wants to understand AI, okay? Someone wants to prepare for an examination so they can easily click on that channel. And that person has a reason for clicking. And that makes educational content extremely valuable. So if you're in Africa or you're an African creator, this is one of the niches I would love you to take very seriously, because you don't have to compete solely on lifestyle. I beg. You can compete on knowledge. If you know something valuable, teach it. And if you know how to do something, demonstrate it. If you have learned something through experience, you can even explain it. See, your location doesn't prevent you from creating globally useful educational content. Value is not in the location, the value is in you. The grass is greener where it is watered. It is not greener on the other side. Please do away with that English. It is greener where it is watered. So you are the value. Wherever you stay, you can still bring the content that is globally useful and people are clicking to watch. Okay? Let's go to number 3: digital marketing and online businesses. Now, we are getting into a very commercially valuable area: digital marketing and online businesses. Okay, let's talk about the subject here. It includes YouTube growth, social media marketing, email marketing, SEOs, affiliate marketing, e-commerce, online advertising, website creation, content marketing, business software. Now, why can this niche pay you very well? Because the audience simply isn't simply watching for entertainment. Many of your viewers are trying to make money, or to grow their business. Okay, and businesses are willing to spend money to acquire customers. Who doesn't need a customer? See, this creates a powerful advertising environment. So, depending on the specific subject and audience, your CPM can sometimes range between $10 to $30, with RPM potentially landing around $4 to $15. Understand, in strong cases. So, but again, these are broad ranges. I've explained that before. Don't be the channel expecting a particular dollar amount per 1,000 view. The important lesson is that commercial intent matters. Okay. For example, the person searching for how do I start business is potentially more commercially valuable than someone simply watching a funny clip online. Someone searching best email marketing software for small businesses is even more excuse me, commercially valuable. Get that? There are companies competing for that customer, so they would advertise, and that is why some business related content can demand higher advertising rates. And this niche is particularly interesting for African creators because the African digital economy is growing very rapidly. Jump into it, my brothers and sisters. There are people starting businesses, okay? There are people selling online, and there are content creators, there are freelancers, entrepreneurs, and there are people trying to monetize social media. There are people also learning AI. All of them are in this. My channel is falls under number three, and they need information. So if you can provide reliable information and practical solutions, my dear, you have an audience. You have an audience. Number two is real estate. Real estate is another important niche advertisers can seriously spend money on. See, think about the amount of money involved in buying and selling properties. A single customer can be worth thousands and millions of dollars to a real estate company. You get that? So that means that advertisers can afford to spend more money trying to acquire qualified customers. So, see, real estate related content can sometimes produce CPM around $10 to $30, with potential RPM around $5 to $15 too, although actual results vary significantly by audience and location. And there are many different ways to approach that niche. See, you can discuss property investment, first time housing, buying house or buying a home, real estate news, mortgage education, land investment, property development, rental property, real estate mistakes, marketing analysis, property tours, and even real estate opportunities in African cities. Hey, there is also an important challenge here. Real estate requires credibility. You cannot simply make sensational claims because you heard someone say that property prices will double next year. Don't do that though. And if you're giving financial or investment related information, accuracy becomes extremely important. So you need to have a lot of information at the tip of your fingers, right? So reputation is part of this channel. You have to be very reputable and this now brings us to number one, which is last: personal finance and money. If you're talking about some of the highest paying niches and highest paying mainstream YouTube niche, personal finance is usually the top. And the reason is straightforward: money is valuable. Banks want customers, insurance companies want customers, investment platforms they need customer, credit card companies they want customer, mortgage companies they also want customers, financial software companies they need customers, and many financial products generate substantial revenue from customers over time, right? So advertisers can have strong incentive to reach the right audience. Now, depending heavily on the geography, topic, finance content, sometimes the CPM can be around $15 to $50, with RPM around 7 to 25 or more in exceptional valuable audiences. But please don't interpret that every 1,000 view will give you $25. It's not true. This is not how YouTube works. A channel whose audience is primarily in the US, Canada, and the UK, or other high ad spending markets may experience very different advertising economics from a channel whose viewers are concentrated in low advertising spending markets. And this is especially important for African creators because your audience location matters. So you have to get that at the tip of your finger. Now the big question is, which niche should an African creator choose? Yeah, we're all in Africa, so I'm talking to us and global audience. So we have talked about finance, real estate, marketing, education, and technology. Now you may want to ask, which one should I choose? In the part two of this video, I'll be telling you what niche you should choose, especially as an African creator and as a small YouTuber that is starting, and why you need to choose that niche. For now, this is what you have to know being an African creator. You should become your identity or when people see your video, they should know what value they're going to receive. And if you're in Africa and you're an African creator, don't automatically think your location is a disadvantage. Your knowledge can travel, your experience can travel, your story can travel, and your expertise can also travel. You can create from Africa and still build an audience around the world. So before you upload the next video, don't just ask how much should YouTube pay me. Mm-mm. Ask what value am I giving the person who clicked on this video. Because when you solve a problem, educate people, entertain people, or help them make better decisions, you are building something much bigger than a video. You're building an audience, and an audience is the foundation of every real creator's business. And if this video helped you understand YouTube niches, please subscribe to this channel because you are going to keep breaking down the strategies that can help you build a channel that isn't getting just views but actually creating value. I'll see you again in my next one. Bye.